Hello and welcome back to another Foxhole Regiment review. For those of you new to the channel, I embed with a regiment to provide you with a glimpse into what it would be like joining their ranks. In this regiment review, we'll be taking a look at a unique Milsim regiment in Foxhole. Let's dive into this review of the 1st Sievish Imperial Marine Regiment. The 1st Sievish Imperial Marine Regiment, commonly known by their acronym 1 Simmer, was formed by their leader Harney after watching Foxhole content on YouTube, specifically Moydog's War 83 series. Harney noticed that Foxhole provided a great opportunity to practice formations and tactics commonly used in militaries across the world today. Given his background as a Marine and utilizing tactics he picked up in the military, Harney wanted to create a regiment that leaned more towards Milsim, adopting an orderly and precise doctrine over the casual chaos seen in other regiments. With that, 1 Simmer was born, a ward and loyalist regiment that mainly focuses on amphibious warfare. If you're somebody who loves communities like Arma and Squad, who like to lean more towards Milsim, or are a veteran looking for other military service members to play Foxhole with, then 1 Simmer may be the regiment for you. Alright man, sweet. Thanks for doing the every man. Appreciate it. How long have you been playing Foxhole for?
I think probably quite early on. I've not exactly from when it was in alpha or beta, but this was like when the old map was still around, so before we got the hex maps.
It's kind of a double answer. I actually picked up the game when it first hit Steam, played for a little bit during Wars 1 through like 30 with a clan called Arc back then, and then recently re-downloaded the game over the summer and joined 1 Simmer for the previous war and this war.
So I have been playing Foxhole on and off since 1.0.
Last war.
Damn, 126? That's crazy.
Yes. That's a horrible war to start with.
How'd you find the regiment? What got you interested in joining?
I was looking for, let's see, I think I went straight to the Discord because I was bored after like day 2 because I was fighting in bridges. I found the Reggie in Discord. I was looking for a Reggie that does stuff in the naval area. So I'll go with this.
So my first major regiment in Foxhole was another regiment called Real Deadlands Regiment. The part of the regiment that was active was heavily focused on logistics. And in War 115, we attached to 1 Simmer as like an auxiliary unit for them to basically help them do their logistics. And basically, it was like the time that in that regiment, I felt like we were being the most useful. When that war ended, I kind of stepped away from Foxhole for a while. And then kind of when I came back, I decided that I was going to join 1 Simmer just fully.
When I joined back, I didn't realize that there were different shirts, and I was on Charlie for a bit up until they were like stuck on some bridge fight, and I was looking around like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel as organized as I'm used to. And someone pointed out that it was a different sherd. After kind of getting my feet wet in the game again, just hopped onto Able and hopped on the Foxhole Discord, just looking for any kind of regiment that was not super large, but also not like tiny. Right amount of organization, right amount of size to feel like I'm, an integral part, not just kind of like a small fish in a big sea.
Now, what's been the most memorable experience you've had with the regiment?
I mean, there's quite a few, but I would honestly say probably last war in general, but that war was kind of very unique in all aspects, so I'll probably narrow it down to that first night that I joined 1 Simmer. I joined the Discord and asked them where they were at, and they were like, yo, we're down in Iron Junction, we need Logi, we're doing artillery down here, and we got infantry that needs support. And they just said, we don't have any organization down here because we've pushed further than our line is currently. We're working with another regiment for this. We just need you to grab a truck and start running stuff to the front. And spent that entire night blowing through colonial partisan checkpoints basically, and delivering 120 and other infantry kit
Most memorable experience was probably last war. We got our first battle tank. We were ecoed it from someone, I don't know whom. We went down to Briar in Stilken Shelf, and we fought that battle tank for hours, and basically were kind of the cornerstone of that place holding for the night. And that was a really lengthy but an intense but very memorable experience.
What's a recommendation you have for new players to Foxhole, or it could also be new players that might be interested in joining the regiment?
So for new players to Foxhole, my main recommendation would be find a regiment that works with your style. So kind of here at One Simmer, we have what I think the Colonel likes to call the serious fun style, where we're trying to have fun, but we also do take things just a little bit more seriously. But if that's your style, I do recommend checking us out. But whatever your style is, find a regiment that works for you, because this game is way more fun played with a group than it is played individually. And then for kind of if there was like a new player to One Simmer, like the recommendation I'd give is like talk with your team leads, talk with get to know the people who are kind of in your team, get to know the person in charge of your team, and then like work with that to like accomplish stuff, because we work better if we work as a team.
Honestly, I just think you should hone your skills in one area. I just find your stick.
New to Foxhole, definitely enjoy the game on the front line first. Kind of get a feel of the ebb and flow of what that looks like. If you're more of a Factorio enjoyer and you like the logistics side, get your feet wet with some front line logi first. And then with respect to new to One Simmer, I mean, I guess just, know that while we are a Marine regiment and we do try to focus on the naval invasion and naval landing side, we definitely fill whatever role is necessary or required for the situation. Like last war, there was a point where we were the only organized regiment defending the shelf. So our focus shifted to implementing a lot of defensive lines over there.
One more question for you. It's an open-ended question, so feel free to fill it with whatever you'd like. But is there anything else you want to let folks know who are watching the video?
Don't let Foxhole really take over your life. Have schedules, try and, make sure your free space is allocated, because if you do let it consume all your free time, do something else. Like, because like I play War Thunder, I play other games. So don't let Foxhole just consume the whole free time you have, because you will get burned out. I've done that with Foxhole. Do things in bursts, try and mix it around.
Is this where I say hi, Mom? No, I mean, yeah, just if you're interested in a relatively medium-sized regiment with good organization, consider One Simmer. And if any of you are out there who don't play Foxhole and are watching this video, you should join Foxhole.
Cullies eat babies, don't be a cully.
Not really.
That's all
Dude,
good,
I'm
man.
so bland.
No, you're fine, dude. You're fine. You wouldn't be the first person to say nah, nothing. So either way, man. Thanks.
I got
man.
one.
Yeah, what's up, Crosscab? What do you want to say to the people watching the
Just-
video?
Jesus saves, man, and I love y'all.
I fucking love you, dude. Thanks again for doing the interview, man. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me here. Can you talk a little bit about the origins of the regiment and how you came to lead it?
Yeah, so the regiment was originally my idea. I started it after watching actually the Warrior 83 series from Moydog. I've been looking at Foxhole for a while, but I was actually in the Marine Corps. So I saw some of the videos of them doing like amphibious assaults and that kind of thing, and I saw that there were tactics being used, right? But it was mostly just throwing bodies at the wall, until something sticks. And I figured that maybe there would be a better way to play the game. I figured that this game was kind of a good niche for more tactical stuff, more tactical gameplay, and that higher level of organization, kind of like other games like Arma and Squad sometimes have. And I figured it would be a great time. And so that's when I started the regiment with a couple of my friends, and been building from there.
On that note of, starting off with a group of friends, what kind of community and culture do you try and instill in the regiment?
I'm trying to instill a serious fun, right? We want to be more milsim. We're a little bit more serious than other people, but that's the kind of place that we gravitate to. But it's definitely milsim. You know, I was already in the military. There's a lot of things that came with the military that I don't really want to carry over into a game, and that's the kind of people that we've had join, and that's the kind of community. It's a great place for me to be able to talk with other veterans. A lot of guys that are either active or vets come and join us, and I get to talk with them about my experiences and share experiences and good laughs. But it also means that we can be a little bit more serious when we're playing and have those kind of clear communications and talk about tactics and do those maneuvers with some understanding. And that's the really happy thing that I enjoy out of it.
I feel like when I've done these videos and I've talked to people and I get to that question, everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, we just like to have fun. We just goof off, whatever. And I'm like, I know you guys don't do this. I know that's not what it's like for some of them, but I appreciate you telling it how it is, because that's the sense that I got, at least from the Discord, and you know how you guys stay organized, which we'll touch on in a minute here. But you know, there are a lot of people that they like that milsim environment, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. In terms of organization, how do you guys stay organized? What does your structure look like from like a leadership perspective? And then like, obviously you have a Discord, so how do you keep people informed on the happenings on a day-to-day basis?
So we're definitely playing into that milsim style. So we have billets for leaders, right? We break it down to team leads, which are in charge of 4 to 5 people. A big thing for us is that no matter if we're big or small, we don't want anyone to just become a number in the regiment. So team leads are usually reaching out in PM and stuff to their individual people in their team. Squad leads are getting updates from their team leads and addressing some of those concerns, filtering some of those concerns up. And then that's going up to our section leaders. We're about to move into a company size. So that will bring in moving that up to platoon leaders. And then finally on up to myself and the other high-end echelon leaders. So it's a filtered, it's a hierarchy, it's a pyramid. But that way, not one person is sharing all of the responsibilities, and that we can kind of scale things appropriately. You know, if we need to add an extra squad or if we need to add an extra team, we can do that. And we can also make sure that everyone's addressed and everyone's taken care of in that level. And we have announcement channels. We have operations announcement channels that we use for bigger stuff. But the hope is that team leads are going to communicate directly with their guys, and they're going to step up, step down that information.
Nice. And from like a training perspective, I mean, for folks that obviously their experience with milsim, they kind of know the ropes, right? But like, if there's somebody who's interested in getting into that world and they may not know like the, I guess I'd say like rules of it or like proper etiquette, how do you and others in the regiment kind of get people up to speed?
So for us, every Marine that comes into the regiment, they have a recruit training that they have to go through. We call it Marine combat training. So that makes sure that even if you have 3,000 hours or if you have 5 hours in the game, that everyone's on the same page about how we do things, you know, on a technical level. And then on a private level, the team leads, as I said, are reaching out on an individual basis. And we also maintain on our Discord a PersCom, which is letting everyone know it has everyone on in the regiment listed that shows what assignment they have, so they know who their team lead is, who their squad lead is, who the section leader is, all the way up through whatever section they happen to be, whether that's assault, whether that's logistics, or whether that's the headquarters.
And how many active players are in the regiment currently?
Currently, our number is at 65, and that can vary with people that are on leave. I'd say that in an active war, we can have between 30 and 40 people that are pitching in at any given time in the war. And we can maintain a record of that every time someone comes on and is participating in regiment events. They actually receive a campaign medal, which is a role in their Discord, so you can see how many wars someone's been in and where, you know, if they've been active that war or not.
And is the regiment more active in NA time zone or EU, or is it a mix of both? And also, are there set days where you guys are most active, or is it kind of like a mixed bag?
It is a mixed bag. I'd say our weekends are usually the most active just because of free time. A lot of these guys are active duty or reservists, or a lot of us are older, you know, 20s and 30s. so a lot of work and jobs. So that's when we have free time. But we are active throughout the week. We're mostly North American. We want to branch into other areas, but there's a little bit of a barrier there, which is where when we're able to play and run our operations. So we have some EU folks. We try to put those guys together, and we want to move into those areas, but it's mostly North American overall.
Sweet. And if I'm a new person who's interested in joining your regiment, how would be like the best way to do that?
So we have ads on the Foxhole Discord, and we also have a website, which is 1cimr.com, that you can go to, and there's buttons that you can actually join the Discord on there and throw in an application.
Last question for you, Harney, is an open-ended one, so feel free to say whatever you'd like. But is there anything else you want to let folks know who are watching the video? It doesn't have to necessarily be about your regiment specifically. It could be about Foxhole, but feel free to end it with however you'd like.
I think that a lot of people, especially if they're just coming into Foxhole, there is a culture there, especially from a lot of older people that have been playing this game for a while, that they can become a little bit begrudged, and I wouldn't let it dissuade you. I would just kind of acknowledge that this isn't somebody I want to learn from. The big thing is to try to learn, to have fun, to ask questions, and that find the play style that works for you. I know that for me, in our regiment, that not everyone is going to enjoy the Milsim style, and I'm okay with that, because it's who I want to be around, who I want to play with. But find the group of people that you play the most with, because the game is most fun when you play together with other people and do things that you enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you, Hardy. Appreciate you doing the interview.
Yeah, not a problem. Appreciate you having me.
All right, you guys, we are at the conclusion of the video, and I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on One Simmer. And I gotta say, it's great finally interviewing a regiment that kind of separates themselves from the rest. You've already heard it from plenty of the guys, as well as Harvey, the regiment leader, but they really do embrace and lean into that Milsim area. I never really considered myself a huge fan of Milsim, even though I enjoy playing games like Squad, and I used to play Arma way back when. But it's nice that there are regiments out there like One Simmer that provide something new and unique for folks that may be getting into Foxhole, but still want to stay true to that Milsim community. In terms of just how the guys are and the general feel of the regiment, I was having a great time with them, and when I partnered with an operation happening in the Heartlands, it was a lot of fun meeting the guys, but I got to see both the serious side and the fun side that was talked about earlier in the video. There were times where we were focused on objectives, focused on movement, and making sure that we were constantly putting pressure on the Colonials, as well as supporting our allies that were operating in the Hex. And then there were times where there were just lulls in between the fighting, or lulls in between the targets that we were focusing on, where we're just goofing off and making small talk. But I think if you're somebody who's either new to Foxhole and you're coming from games like Squad and Arma, or maybe you're an existing Foxhole fan and you're looking for a regiment that leans more towards that Milsim side, then it may be worth giving One Simmer a try. Again, they are a Warden Loyalist faction, so you will have to switch over to the Wardens if you want to join them. But I think for your Milsim fans, your veterans out there that play Foxhole, and anybody in between, you'll find something to enjoy in One Simmer. But that's it for the video, you guys. Sorry it's a little bit shorter. I had to quickly edit this in a couple days just because I'm flying out for work. But I want to say I appreciate all the guys at One Simmer for doing the interviews, inviting me over. And a special thank you to Harvey as well, who helped set me up and really showed me what the regiment has to offer. If you guys are interested, I did put a link to their Discord down in the description. Make sure you let them know that I sent you. But that's it for the video, you guys. I am taking a break for War 128. You might still see 1 or 2 more Foxhole videos on the channel, but I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit during the break. But if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more Foxhole related content like these regiment review videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed, maybe consider leaving a like as well. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Met a fella named Ricky, he slurped on my dick, he bent his ass over, penis hit him like a 50. Bink did a dude named Jamal, mans was really fucking tall, he should be in the courts, instead he playing with my balls. Then this old man named Terry used to think he was scary,